Dark Discoveries is a podcast that dives into the darker corners of history, mystery, and the downright bizarre. We discuss real events that may include graphic details, adult themes, and strong language. Not suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is strongly advised.
We're here to inform, entertain, and maybe make you laugh nervous in public, but never to glorify the criminals or make light of their victims. Our research is thorough, but hey, we're not perfect.
We don't claim to be historians, so if we get something slightly off, blame Jimbo. All opinions are our own, and sometimes even those are questionable. Welcome back to Dark Discoveries. I am Jackie, and I'm joined with my co-host. I thought I was. Just kidding. Who is here? Okay.
I'm Jimbo.
And I'm Dustin.
Hey, there he is.
She was
Holy
pointing
crap.
at me the whole time.
All right.
I know
that
she was.
That was dramatic effect.
You wanted to get payback for what we did to you last episode.
That's solid. We
that
did
was
the
2
same
episodes ago, right? Well, I don't even know.
No, we did it to you. I think just now.
I can't remember.
It was good. But yes, welcome back. We're glad to be here. All right. So tonight we are talking about one of my favorite, strange, weird topics. FBI cover-up, aliens, and what is it, Dustin?
The Who concert tragedy at Riverfront Stadium.
In December.
What?
Yeah. Who goes to a freaking concert in December in
Where?
Cincinnati, Ohio?
Who?
I don't know who.
Who?
I wouldn't even go to a football game in December.
I wouldn't even go see the Bengals play. What are you talking about?
The Bengals or the Bingles?
Bengals.
I like Bengals.
That's kind of a concert too, ain't it?
You know what I really like? I like bugles. Those are good.
I used to call them witches' fingers.
Yeah, put them on your fingers and eat them.
Yeah, but then do you ever bite into your finger accidentally? That hurts
Oh,
too.
that hurts.
No,
Yes,
have you
when
ever bit into your tongue? That hurts. You've never bit your tongue?
Not on a bugle.
Not on a bugle.
I just in general. I bit the
He
shit
did it on
out
a
of my
beagle.
tongue. A bingle.
Good. All right.
And what's Jimbo talking about? We done left him out.
We're going to be the man that cheated death 7 times.
Wow. He's almost a cat.
Almost.
Almost.
Did he
His-
cheat? Did he die the 7th or the 8th time?
Well, you'll have to wait and see.
All this and more on this action-packed episode of Dark Discoveries.
Oh my God, that was so
But
cute.
wait, there's more. We will also be covering a missing child tonight.
Yes, we will. Yes, not, yeah. Okay. All right.
3 Celsius is in, and I'm pretty freaking good.
He said he survived a war underground, that he met something in the dark and it left him broken, scared, and afraid. His name was Philip Schneider, and this is his story. Philip Schneider was born April 23rd, 1947. His father was Oscar Schneider, a Nazi U-boat commander turned U.S. Navy physician who worked on the Philadelphia experiment. Philip claimed to be a structural engineer and explosive experts working in a classified black projects for the U.S. government. Sounds like a real nice guy. Should have him over for dinner.
You know how Dustin feels about us taking the Germans and putting them in the U.S.
We can forget about what they did if they benefit us. Like, we had a lot of great breakthroughs, but
Yes.
the government, just day by day, I lose more and more trust.
Oh, yeah. Don't trust the government.
Where we're at right now is the free state.
Indiana is the farthest from a free state.
I would say the free state of Peter, but Peter Griffin already took that. And Pretoria.
Well, he wasn't just building bases. He was building the secrets beneath them. According to Schneider, he helped construct a deep underground military base Deep Underground Military Base, or DUMB. Dumb.
Oh, so Dustin can go visit.
So, beneath,
What state was this in?
This was Duluth, New Mexico.
I'm never going to New Mexico, so it's okay.
So there in 1979, his crew accidentally opened a chamber already occupied by the Greys. He discovered a horrific firefight where aliens weaponized fired beams of plasma or radiation. 66 people died, including Delta Force soldiers. Schneider survived, his fingers blown off, his chest burned open.
Have you ever watched the Boondock Saints?
Yes.
It was a firefight!
He claimed one Grey shot him with his weapon from its chest. 3 people escaped. 2 later died. He believed he was the last living witness. Can we say convenient? Okay. In 1995, Schneider started speaking publicly. He showed his scars. He warned of 11 alien species interacting with Earth's governments. He said the U.S. had broken treaties allowing human abductions in exchange for technology.
Did he have fingers or just nubs?
I'm assuming it was nubs. They said that he got blown off. So.
It just sounds like, maybe somebody playing with some firecrackers.
Cherry bombs.
Yes. Well, he also spoke of trains connecting secret bases beneath the U.S., genetic experiments, cloning, and advanced beam weaponry, a shadow government operating above presidents and law. He said the alien agenda is deception, and now I have to tell the world. Schneider claimed 13 assassination attempts. He traveled with guards. He feared phone taps, break-ins. Friends says he was nervous. They watched over him, and he was sick with stress. In his final lectures, he grew desperate. He held up samples of alien metal, warned of black budget funding, and showed radiation damage from his skin. On January 17th, 1996, Philip Schneider was found dead in his apartment. The cause of death was ruled suicide by catheter tubing wrapped around his neck. But there was no note. All his documents were gone. His fingernails, of the fingers that were remaining, were completely missing, and his scars were all freshly split open. His friends and family do not believe it was a suicide. There are no military records that confirm Schneider's employment, no documents of the Duluth firefight, and no proof of the Grenada Treaty. His injuries were real, though. His warnings echoed to others. Bob Lazar, William Cooper. He died afraid. Supporters say he died telling the truth, but skeptics say that he died from paranorma. His lectures, scars, and death remain a strange legacy of all alien conspiracies. His words, however, remain. I love America more than life, but if I die, you'll know it wasn't an accident. Was he a prophet, a pawn, a hero, or a hoax? Whatever you believe, Philip Schneider was from the darkness below, and something finally found him.
Right, but some of the stuff that he was talking about underground, back in the 60s or whatever, it's going to sound crazy. Cloning, lasers, these weapons. But guess what we have today? Cloning, lasers, and all that. So
I've actually, while I was researching some of this, I stumbled across a gentleman, and I cannot recall his name. I'll have to pull it up and post this because it was very fascinating. And he said, whatever we know of the government and the military now, we are 50 years behind the technology that they let us know that they have.
Oh, yeah.
And really firmly believe that. And if you look at it, that would actually put us at about the right timeline. Right. And now all of a sudden,
was it just laser hair removal gone bad?
It really could
laser
be.
finger removal, it sounds like.
Well, as mentioned,
for those hairy knuckles.
Oh, not so hairy anymore. So as he mentioned, there was 11 types of aliens that he claims the government knows about. They watch us, they study us, they whisper through the skies and darkened dreams. While the governments pretend they don't exist, Several say they're already here. Tonight, we will explore these 11. Segment 1 is the Greys. They are the ones from your nightmares. Approximately 4 feet tall, black eyes, no lips. They are most commonly represented in sleep paralysis. The Greys appear in abduction stories more than any other, and they are silent, cold, and efficient. You wake up, but you're not alone, because they're already inside. The next species is reptilians.
Lizards.
Lizard people are alien.
Yes.
You're losing me here.
From the caverns below and the stars above come reptilians, 9 feet tall, scaled, and ancient.
Wouldn't reptilians come from like the core of the earth or something, not from space?
They come from caves.
Hollow Earth.
So
See, this is how much I keep up, how much I believe.
some say they are controlled by our government. Others say they eat our fears. But one thing is for certain, they do not like to be seen, hence the caves. The next is the Nordics. They are beautiful, blonde. They have eyes like the ocean, but they are too perfect and too still when in pictures or photographs. They look human, but not quite.
Fabio.
AI.
Several say they pretend to be angels. They warn us of war or ruin, nuclear fire, and they always appear, but no one can ever seem to prove them. The next is the insectoids, 7 feet
I use that on my lawn.
They have shells. They have eyes like knives. And when I read that, it was a little bit eerie, but
Like
a lot of it,
slits then?
I thought that was it, but they are scaled and they actually have almost a dagger shaped eye. It is really creepy.
Kind of like Starship Troopers. You remember that movie?
Yes.
Nope.
They
Never seen it.
do not speak, but they can vibrate. Some say they direct the Greys. Others say they were here long before any others. So they believe that these are the oldest type that there is.
What the funny thing is there any alien stories? What came first, the alien stories or Area 51? It had to be.
Oh, the alien stories. I mean, look at the Mayan
Well, ancient
culture.
aliens
Look
and all
at
that. I guess that foot and mouth. That's
well,
what I just
yeah,
did.
and I mean, there's a lot of speculation of aliens in Egypt.
The
and-
50s, though, really pushed that space age alien.
Well, we were
Well-
in the race for space.
Well, the whole
during all
War
that
of the
as well.
Worlds radio drama, you remember when that happened? People freaked out, but it was just a radio drama.
Yeah, it's
So
just mass marketing is what this is.
Well, the next is the tall whites. They are extremely pale. They have eyes that are piercing and all black. They tend to hover around military bases, and they commute completely in silence. They're not aggressive, but they are not kind. If they touch you, something in you changes. A lot of people say that their DNA is actually,
transferred.
yes, nicely done.
Thank you.
Somebody's been waiting to use that for a long time.
Transfer DNA, man. You got to know all about it.
I'm going to no longer shake hands with people now. I don't want to transfer their DNA or germs on me.
That's just good, man. Yeah, that's just good.
COVID taught us anything is to hold your breath around strangers and don't shake hands.
So next is the Arcturans. They are blue beings from a dying star. So they are from a scar. And so they are currently traveling. They speak through light and code. As a matter of fact, this is believed that the Morse code that we have picked up over long range clicking everything through the satellites is from these. So they have been trying to communicate with us, and they are the most peaceful of the aliens thus far, but they can be very dangerous when they are cornered. And so next is the Anakua, which it's ancient. Some call them Sumerian stone. Some call them old gods. They are kind of the bad guys. They're more of like the watchers, if that makes sense. They're very ancient. They've been here a long time. They created mankind, some say, but not out of love, out of slavery. They wanted to be worshipped. The next is the Alpha Centaurians, webbed hands, amphibious eyes. They are often seen walking near water. They are observers, and their gaze lingers quite a bit. The last, I'm so sorry, I have two more. The Ebons, they are biological entities. They're frail, they're old, and they use their minds as weapons. We gave them our people, they gave us everything else. That is how they see things. So they are said to have spread knowledge, which is kind of an interesting thing. Number 10 is the Larans. They are warriors with golden skin. They're ancient, and they are the ones that spoke our first language and taught us language. They fought the reptilians in distant wars, and they watch from afar. They're waiting. We are not sure why. And the last is the hybrids. The hybrids are part human, part something else. They look like us, but they don't feel like us. Some say they're walking amongst us. They're quiet, they're patient, they're watching. They're waiting for a time to reveal who they really are. So 11 names, 11 alien species. Are they real? This is the first time I've researched these, and a lot of them, it's interesting. As you're going back, you can almost see what type associates with what kind of encounter. Some people tend to have more encounters with telepathy. Others have actual abductions. Each one of these has a very distinct way of doing things. And the more I researched, the more certain types of alien encounters sunk up with what this man was saying. Whether or not it's true, that's not for me to decide. But do I think the government's been covering up aliens for years? Yes, I do.
Oh, well, they're having Senate hearings about that, so I'm sure.
Here's my hot take.
Oh, no. Dustin's pancakes.
You got to remember that, let's pretend I'm wearing a different shirt today, and I'm wearing my I want to believe t-shirt with a Sasquatch riding a unicorn, Pegasus, whatever the hell it is. But I believe that we're not the only planet out there with intelligent life.
Oh, I completely agree.
To go and think that, let's go to the Bible. The world was, the universe was started by two particles of dust that hit each other, and everything blossomed from that.
NASA has said now that black holes can talk to one another. Yeah. They are communicating back and forth.
This stuff has to come from somewhere. We didn't come from nothing. So to think that there's not a parallel universe somewhere that may be living the same lives we're doing is pretty believable. I mean, we can't be alone. Like, the technology, I'm sure something's been shared somewhere along the line. Aliens, I don't really know. It's like paranormal. You have to kind of, which I'm a very big skeptic on, you have to experience some things to believe it. And I've had some weird stuff happen. Some things that we will talk about on a future episode, that one instance that made me believe that it could be possible. So if you're religious, which I know, Jimbo studied quite a bit, if you believe in heaven and hell, is it too hard to believe that you could get stuck in the middle? It's plausible. So now you have ghosts, so that could be believable.
I will say this.
Aliens aren't that much far off.
I listened to John Tenney. He is a ufologist out of Michigan. He's insanely brilliant and terrifyingly knowledgeable in the paranormal, the occult, the strange, but he specializes in UFOs. And something he said at one of his seminars stuck with me to a fault. In everything that he's ever done, the one thing that was always constant in an alien encounter was the outcome was never good to a human. He said, I've never heard of an alien encounter that ended well for the person. Between the radiation, the trauma, the hidden effects of things coming out later, the fear, and
I don't know if I believe the radiation part, because we talked about a guy that survived 2 nuclear, black baby. He had great genetics. Didn't sound like 93-year-olds, which I'm not discrediting the trauma and the suffering he went through to heal. And the human body is very resilient. Mm-hmm. But you survived 2 nuclear blasts, and that fallout didn't kill him or his family.
We'll have to go into deeper dives on some of these people that have studied or have been abducted or had these things, because a lot of them do have a lot of radiation problems, higher levels of radiation than anything around. They get tested. They unfortunately tend to have a lot of medical issues, cancer, things happening later, and then on top of it you have the stigma of the military and disbelief of others and all kinds of things. So people that undergo these types of really traumatic, scary paranormal events, I don't know if they're chosen. I don't know if it's a freak accident.
Yeah, pure coincidence.
Yeah. And it's kind of one of those things. I think we need to do a deep dive on some of these cases.
And there's so much distrust in what the government tells us now. Maybe the last 50, 60 years, that's what they wanted to.
Absolutely. They
to
control
scare
people
you,
by
but not
fear.
let you know.
It would also be interesting to see what the percentage is of people that either claim to have been abducted or seen something who were either drugged up at the time or drunk. Because a lot of times you hear that and, well, we were out smoking weed out here in this field and, just different stuff. So is it just their brain playing hallucinations on them? You know what I mean? Some of them, I don't know the percentage, but I'm sure it's pretty high.
Well, and another thing is time disorientation is huge in victims of alien abduction. A lot of times, there spans hours missing. And what's really crazy is a lot of times if they're wearing watches, things like that, phones, their cars, everything stops on a dime. Everything dies. And they lose hours of time, hours of consciousness. And, some of that could be attributed to drug, but some of that I think is a little bit deeper as well.
That's why I said it'd be nice to dive into that and find out.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, enough alien talk. I want to hear about the who. Okay.
I have some facts, not a myth, not a theory, some real information.
No, because you said people actually went to a Who concert.
Hey, man, it was the 1970s. December 3rd, 1979, Cincinnati, Ohio, Riverfront Stadium, home of the Cincinnati Reds, the Big Red Machine.
In December
3rd, 1979, the temperature was a blistering 61 degrees.
Oh, did you go back and dive into what the temperature was at that time?
So 60 degrees, and when the sun goes down, that's going to be cold.
Yeah.
So you're hopefully relying on some body heat to keep you warm, because I'm not going anywhere outside in the middle of December. But
you need to get you some of those chickens.
Yeah, let's fill that stadium full of chickens and keep them nuclear weapons warm. Mm-hmm. To understand the horror of this night, we must first transport ourselves back to the cultural landscape of the late 1970s. For many young people, attending a major rock concert wasn't just about seeing the band. It was a pilgrimage, a tribal gathering, a rite of passage. And for the bands like The Who, whose raw energy and rebellious spirit resonated deeply, the live performance was almost a spiritual event. And as a music fan, there's nothing better, especially if you go to a smaller venue, small clubs shows, that you can get close to some of these bands and really feel it. You don't feel it when you're out in the lawn. You got to be up close, up personal, in the pit, by the stage. That's where it hits hard. I'm a diehard music. I live for it. Crucially, the prevailing ticket model for such events like this was considered.
What happened, buddy?
You like that, didn't you? I was just seeing if you guys were going to butt in.
Lost his place again.
The ticketing model they would call festival seating, or as we know today, general admission. Imagine a massive, which it says indoor arena. This was outdoor. Thousands of fans, no assigned seats. The main floor, as soon as that door opens, you're rushing. Well, rushing to the door. You're not rushing. You're not, in Moscow. These smaller clubs I go to, if I'm going to a show, I'm getting there an hour and a half before the doors open. We're gonna hang out. And some of these bands I see got really cool fans. So it's a sense of community too. So you go up there, you're hanging out, you're getting ready. You see people that if you've seen the same band multiple times, you're seeing people, you're building friendships, and you're up front, and you guys are looking out for each other to get as close as you can. That's, maybe a 3, 4, 5, 6,000 cap, place. We're talking, a Major League Baseball stadium, probably 30, 40, 50,000 people potentially. So no assigned seats. As soon as that door opens up, you're going to get wherever you can, and most people are going to try to rush that stage. You wanted to be in direct line of sight of Peter Townsend when he windmilled that guitar. Air guitar, kind of like when the intro's playing. A spot directly in front of Roger Daughtry's mic stand. Him up there swinging that microphone, on that cable, just having a good time. This isn't just a preference. This was ingrained as a part of the concert-going experience and the culture of the time. It fostered a sense of raw excitement, a desperate dash for the best spot, amplified by the anticipation. But the allure masked an inherent fatal flaw, a lack of order, a vulnerable panic. Riverfront Stadium, a modern-day facility, opened in 1975. Wow, had a capacity of just over 17,000 people for concerts. Okay, for concerts. It's still a lot of people. I'm like, baseball stadiums, man, we're talking 30, 40,000 people. You'd think, but they're going to lose some, but you got a lot of people on the ground. So that's surprising. Like many venues of its era, it embraced the festival seating. But the warning signs in hindsight were already flashing. 2 days prior, December of 1977. So 2 days prior is going to be December 1st. The same venue hosted a Led Zeppelin concert. Before the show, dozens of fans were injured and 60 people were arrested during a similar crush as crowds surged against inadequate entrances. Accounts from that night spoke of people being trampled, fences collapsing, and near riot. This was a direct, glaring precedent, a catastrophic distress rehearsal that tragically went unheeded by the very authorities and promoters who should have learned their lessons. You're putting on something with people, man. You got to put those people first. You got to get them, the rule of thumb, you go to anything, you go in one piece, you come home in one piece.
This would have been a great example for Fry Fest. Remember that terrible adventure?
He sold the rights to the name. Did you see that recently?
No. When did that happen?
A couple weeks ago. Like he sold who would want to buy the rights to Fyre Fest?
It was terrible.
When you
really, who wanted
everybody.
to buy the rights?
Somebody bought it.
You said who? Who bought the rights?
Not the who. No. Why do you want to have something that's tarnished?
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to, even if I know you sold it, I'm not going to try to go do it.
No, it did not end well.
For the Who, this highly anticipated North American tour, the tickets were like gold. Fans practically, teenagers, college-age students, began converging on the Coliseum's plaza well before 8 p.m. By 3 p.m., a dedicated core of fans had determined that they're going to get the prime spot. So they're lining up 5 hours before the doors open. I went to I'm a fan of the band called Bad Flower, kind of a bubblegum punk, kind of modern rock music. You've
Bubblegum punk.
I don't want to,
What is that?
It's kind of,
Lollipop, lollipop.
You've heard Bad Flower on the radio. You listen to any rock station, you've heard them.
We represent the lollipop.
I don't want to call them punk, but they're not pop. They're
Who could make the star grow?
they're kind of punk rock.
Can.
All right, let's go back. You're making fun of them.
What song do they sing?
What is this?
I'll play it when we're done because I'm on the radio. I can't, you've heard them.
We're on the radio now.
People, like there was this one person to the show I went at the Egyptian Room that was there at like 8 o'clock in the morning. People didn't start lining up till like 5:30 to get to a 7 o'clock door opening. Somebody was there 8 a.m.
They really wanted to buy a microwave at Best Buy.
I'm like, I love it, but I ain't going to spend a whole day.
Yeah.
But that's the way it was. 5 hours, you and your friends are hanging out before it's even closed.
That just doesn't sound like a good time to me. I would rather be.
It's 1979. It's the Who. I'm sure.
Okay, yeah, I forgot about the time.
I'm sure most of these people are partaking in things and had a blast waiting. But, that's what you do. Like some people, they take it that serious. So outside the West Gate, these guys have already got their spot. They're planning on where they're going to go. They've spent all day getting here. They've spent good money. As the afternoon wavered, the chill of the evening air started to set in. By 7 p.m., the plaza was living, a breathing entity. An estimated 8,000 ticket holders are already there, tightly packed, a body of seas, fueled by, youthful exuberance, illicit substances for some, and an almost religious fever forever for the impending rock spectacle. The crowd was dynamic and shifting. The individual desires for a good view merged into a collective pressing force. The air buzzed with electricity, but beneath it, the subtle, dangerous vibrations of a ticking time bomb were beginning to hum. This wasn't just a crowd. It was a potential liquid ready to flow and flow powerfully in whichever direction it was released. So you're waiting in line. That guy behind you don't give a shit that you've been waiting all day.
That just sounded like he really had to pee just now.
They're going to push their way. They're going to shove you down. A lot of the shows I go to, a lot of the bands are like, you're together, you're one, you take care of each other. There's a code.
No mosh pit.
I hate mosh pits on the rail. If you're one of those people that wants to start a mosh pit on the rail, you can go to hell. That's how I feel about you.
Please don't. We like our listeners.
Well, I don't think the people listening to this podcast are that kind of people. I don't think they're assholes. But if you're an asshole and you're listening to this, send me an email and I'll tell you what I think. The conditions for disaster are now critically set. The crowd outside Riverfront Stadium had reached a dangerous density. The crucial misstep that followed would turn anticipation into agony. The common understanding among concert goers, often fostered by venue practice, was the entrance doors would swing open simultaneously, allowing for a relatively even flow through the frantic rush to the front. So typically, you go to a thing, everybody opens it up at this time, and everybody just kind of works in. That's what should happen. This was the expectation, the unwritten rule for general admission. That's what they did. But this expectation was brutally shattered. Approximately 7 p.m., a partial opening occurred. Instead of all doors, only a very narrow set of 2 doors at the far right of the main west entrance were opened. For reasons for this agonizing delay, and the partial opening remains a point of contention and blame. Some reports suggest union rules prevented ushers from taking tickets before a certain time. Others cite a lack of sufficient ticket takers. At some point, this turned into a catastrophic failure of judgment by the venue management and the security. The moment those 2 doors cracked open, chaos erupted. The immense pressure that had been building up in the tightly packed crowds outside now had a funnel. A collective roar went up through the masses, a sound that eyewitnesses described as a primal surge. Many thought the show was starting, or this was the only way in. The entire crowd, a human tide of thousands, surged forward, converging into those 2 inadequate openings. The experience for those caught in the front was terrifying and immediate, visceral. Survivors recounted being lifted off their feet, their bodies becoming mere objects in the unstoppable current. One would say, I couldn't move, I couldn't breathe, It was like being in a vice. The pressure was immense. You couldn't lift your arms. You went with the crowd. You went wherever they pushed you. People were screaming, but the sounds was swallowed by the roar of the crowd behind you. It was pure terror. That's what some of the eyewitnesses said. Shoes were literally ripped off the feet by friction and pressure. Clothing was torn. Bodies were compressed with unimaginable force. For those who fell, no chance of getting up. They were immediately trampled by the relentless flow of people behind them. The design of the entrance area, with a gradual slope leading down to the doors, exuberated the problem, turning the mass of humanity into a slow-moving, deadly landslide. Like I said, you go, you don't expect this stuff to happen. You want to just go see a show and have fun, but it's...
But you've been at like the Royal Rumble there, Dustin. I was there in the front, but when those doors open, the mad rush to the merchandise booths, if you will, is unbelievable. So, there is no order. There is just complete chaos.
So I'll get on my little soapbox. We went to Louder Than Life a few years back, right after the ID ended. And some friends of mine were supposed to play, so I spent really good money to get tickets. Unfortunately, because the ID, it didn't happen for them. So I'm already depressed. I'm like, this was like the chance. This is 60,000 people that they're going to get a chance to play in front of. Heartbreaking. But I had some friends that were friends with them too. They're like, just have a good time. You spent the money, enjoy it. So we get up, like 2 people from the rail. For most of the day, we kind of fall back. You want to go see a band on another stage. And then it started you could tell, like it's a rock festival. It's going to get loud and rowdy. More and more people start showing up. And it's like, all right, I'm falling back. Like I seen who I wanted to see out of this stuff. I'm falling back because I know how this is going to go. And I don't want to get hurt. I want to go home just because of the simple fact. You get up, anything can happen. It's not the smartest thing when they run Louder Than Life because it's really hot outside. You're fighting dehydration. You're on a bunch of gravel or you're on some asphalt and it just bakes you and wears you out. So it's like, let's fall back. Let's get something to eat, drink. Let's make sure that we get home because you kind of have that. And then you see, concert stuff where people start to shoot up stuff and you're just like, I don't want to be, you always want to keep an eye, but hell, you're watching it. There's like, Louisville police SWAT out there with AR, M16s, AR-15s, whatever they use. And it's like, this could turn in a second and you're stuck and you're going to be, in that position. It's like, okay, I like my music, but that's way too big. Let's scale it down. So off my soapbox again. The Cincinnati police officers on the scene quickly recognized this unfolding catastrophe. They tried desperately to stem the tide, pull people from the crush, but they were physically overwhelmed. One officer reportedly shouted on his radio, "We've got people suffocating out here. We need help. We need the doors open." For an agonizing 15 to 20 minutes, the uncontrolled flow of bodies continued. The muffled sounds of Baba O'Reilly or Won't Get Fooled Again from the Who's pre-show sound check or film clips being played inside only heightened the sense of urgency for those outside. So they're hearing, some stuff on the PA and they're like, we're missing it. And it just keeps building and building. People were unaware of the tragedy and the horrors that were just feet away from them. By 7:45 p.m., as the remaining crowd finally filtered to the arena, a full horror of what had occurred was exposed. The plaza was littered with unconscious bodies, shoes, and discarded clothing. The first victims were discovered left lying on the ground lifeless. They had not been stabbed, not been shot, or crushed by falling objects. They had died from compressive asphyxiation. Essentially, suffocation by sheer undying weight of other human beings. Their lungs couldn't expand. Their airways compressed and shut. It was silent, terrifying. Death amidst this... I'm using words again that I shouldn't be using. Like I need to stop putting big words in this stuff. Cacophony, Cacophony.
Cacophony.
It just doesn't look right. I'm a simpleton if you can't tell. A cacophony of rock and roll. The situation inside Riverfront Stadium was stark, horrifying contrast to the grim reality outside. By 8 p.m., the arena was filled with nearly 18,348 ticket holders and excited, cheering, their rock heroes. In one of the most agonizing decisions in concert history, officials on the scene, primarily the Cincinnati Fire Department and the concert promoters, made the fateful call: the show must go on. Their reasoning, which honestly, let's be honest, you have all those people. You've already had one. I don't know how the exact number right out now, but you had a tragedy happen.
You're going to have a riot going on if you cancel it.
If you cancel it, the inside of the stadium, which doesn't matter in the grand scheme of thing, is going to get destroyed. More people are going to get hurt, trampled, trying to get out. Just, those people that were kind of indulging in those illicit substances outside, probably going to start lighting stuff on fire. And then now you're stuck in this arena that you can't, the stadium you can't get out of. It's just not a good situation. Their reasoning was later explained. It was rooted in fear. They believed if they announced the deaths, panic would sweep through the packed arena, potentially leading to a riot that would cause even more injuries and fatalities. The chaotic energy of such a large crowd, combined with the band's reputation for explosive shows, weighed heavily on their minds. So the band members, Roger Daltrey, Pete Townsend, John Entwistle, once again, words can be tough. Kenny Jones had joined after Keith Morgan's tragic death in 1978. For those Who fans, took the stage completely unaware of what happened. For the next 2 hours, the Who delivered one of their legendary high-octane performances. The powerful sound of their music and the roar of the crowd, along with the physical spectacle of the lights, masked the horrific truth laying just beneath the arena walls. As Pete Townsend famously put it, they were wholly consumed by the business of playing. They played My Generation, Pinball Wizard, Won't Get Fooled Again, filling the arena with powerful sounds, while outside bodies were being identified and emergency personnel worked in the chilly scene of the plaza. It was only after the final encore Who left the stage, and promoter Barry Fay was trembling with his voice when he broke the devastating news to them. Roger Daltrey had described the moment as a baseball bat to the head. Pete Townsend spoke of the profound and immediate wave of grief and guilt. They were utterly devastated. Daltrey initially wanted to cancel the rest of the tour, but Townsend, understanding the psychological impact of such a decision, reportedly convinced him they had to continue, saying, "If we don't play tonight, we may never play again." The band carried the invisible weight of those 11 deaths with them for the remainder of their careers, their legacy forever intertwined with this tragedy. The victims were heartbreakingly young, their lives cut short on the night of anticipated joy. As a musician, you live to perform, and to know that, you being there, I'm sure the Beatles, probably Elvis, had similar issues pop up from time to time where somebody died, and just one, and it's probably going to be, more than you want to carry, knowing that they came to see you, and if they didn't come, they would still possibly be alive.
A few years ago, at the Indiana State Fair, Sugarland was performing, and a storm kicked up, and it lifted part of the stage and part of the
canopy.
Canopy, and it came down, and several audience members were hurt and died.
You go to have fun. It's just all about, escaping reality. Music is a great coping mechanism. It helps people get through a lot of tough times, and to have that be a sense of, of something to uplift you, to change your mood, for it to turn tragic is just a horrible thing. The victims was Walter Adams Jr. He was 22. Peter Boyles, 18. Connie Sue Burns, 21. Jacqueline Eckrell, 15. High school student with the rest of her life ahead of her. David Heck, who was 19, attending with a friend. They both died. Tava Ray Enlow Ladd, 27. Karen Morrison, another 15-year-old high school student. Stephen Preston, 19 years old, also from the same high school as Karen. Philip Schneider, 20. Brian Wagner, 17. And another one of those 3 students that went to the same school. And then James Theodore Warmoth, 21. So, I mean, lots of young kids. I mean,
Yeah.
Who knows what they could have done. Life ahead of them. Just wanting to go have a good time.
Yeah.
Could have been out, doing something way worse than what they were going to, go do, just to go enjoy a good show. Their ages range from 15 to 27, a testament to the youthful exuberance that ended in such despair. Beyond the fatalities, 26 people were injured, mainly from broken bones, injuries from kind of, that crushing that they had where everybody was just pressing together. The injuries left a lasting physical and psychological scars. The news of the tragedy sent shockwaves across the nation, sparking widespread outrage and demand for accountability. The immediate response from the city of Cincinnati was swift and decisive. December 27th, 1979, a ban on unassigned festival seating was enacted for all Cincinnati concert venues. This ban would remain intact effectively for a quarter of a century, a grim memorial for those lives that were lost. The Cincinnati crush wasn't just a local tragedy. It was a watershed moment that transformed the landscape of the concert safety across the United States and beyond. The term festival seating itself became almost synonymous with this disaster, a phrase uttered with a shudder, while some venues had already been moving away from general admission anyways. So Cincinnati provided the undeniable, horrifying proof of its inherited dangers. The aftermath and whirlwind of legal action found several lawsuits filed against the Who, the concert promoter Electric Factory Concerts, the city of Cincinnati. A class action suit for 10 of the families of the deceased was eventually settled in 1983, with each family receiving approximately $150,000, which inflation into our time now is about $473,000, but that doesn't bring back your child. While no monetary sum could ever fill that void left by their loved ones, it was a symbolic acknowledgement of the profound negligence that contributed to their deaths. No criminal charges were ever filed, a source of ongoing frustration and pain for many of the other victims' families. The tangible changes in the concert management crowd control were wide-swept and significant after this. The era, like we said, of mass general admission would come to an end, which now you kind of get it, but like I said, it's more controlled. Assigned seatings became the industry standard, providing order and clear pathways for entry and exit. While certain festivals or outdoor events still use that general admission, the lessons learned in Cincinnati led to much stricter protocols on capacity. Promoters and venue operators invested heavily in professional crowd dynamics. This included staggering gate openings, creating controlled queues, deploying significant more security personnel at the entry points, and implementing clear, more direct lines of communication between security, emergency services, and the venue staff. This disaster highlighted the critical need for comprehensive emergency plans, including clear evacuation routes, designated first aid stations, and seamless coordinations with paramedics, fire departments, and police. The ability to quickly assess and respond to mass casualty incidents became paramount. The fact that the Who played on unknowingly became a central point of ethical debates. It led to more stringent requirements for promoters and venue staff to immediately inform artists' management of any serious incidents, allowing bands to make informed decisions about continuing or canceling the show, rather than performing in tragic ignorance. In the decades that followed, the Who particularly Roger Daltrey and Peter Townsend, maintained a deep, almost familial connection to the victims and the city of Cincinnati. Haunted by the events that made multiple returns to the area, meeting with survivors, victims' families, and local officials, expressing his profound sorrow and engaging in acts of remembrance and healing. The band had incorporated tributes to the victims in their Cincinnati area performances, most powerfully when the Who returned to play in Cincinnati in the area in 2022, the first time since the tragedy. They displayed the names and photos of the 11 victims on the large video screens during their set. In an incredibly moving gesture, students from Finneytown High School, where 3 of those students were from, joined the band on stage to perform the iconic chorus of Baba O'Reilly, a song that had been playing during the pre-show warm-ups on that faithful night. It was an act of profound remembrance, reconciliation, and powerful healing for all of those involved. So, in conclusion, the Who tragedy at Riverfront Stadium stands as a grim reminder, a grim, undeniable moment in music and live entertainment history. It was a disaster not born of malice, but just critical, systematic failures. A dangerous, flawed crowd management, inadequate safety protocols, and a profound misjudgment in the face of escalating chaos. It shattered the illusion of invincibility that is often surrounds, major rock concerts, and forced an uncomfortable and utterly necessary reckoning with the fundamental principles of crowd safety. While the universal joy and raw energy of live music will continue to be powerful, the events that cold night in Cincinnati will serve as a perpetual. I just screwed all that up. We're going to just end it here. Well, class is running late, but it takes you. You have to think about when you go anywhere that you got to always be vigilant of what's going on.
Well, not just for the fans in attendance, but do you remember when Owen Hart died? He fell from the rafters and died in the ring. And it was like in the middle of the pay-per-view. And
his friends and traveling partners and guys that they are on the road with every day had to go
Vince
wrestle in that
McMahon
ring.
did not cancel the show. The show must go on, basically, as Dustin said earlier.
It's just...
That would be the hardest thing ever.
That is the number one rule in theater, and the show goes on. And I do have a short story that you will all appreciate. My little sister is married into a wonderful family, and they have a tradition of every year they go to a Christmas program. And so one year they went to the Nutcracker, and my sister's father-in-law is a Navy man and a surgeon and just an insanely intelligent, wonderful man. And they were all seated in the audience watching the Nutcracker when a male dancer broke his leg on stage and was screaming, and the curtain closed and the lights came on, and the audience, the house was asked, is there a doctor in the audience? And, my sister's father-in-law sat there for a moment praying someone else would stand up. When they didn't, he got up and he went back there and had to assist. And so now every year he gets nutcrackers for Christmas.
That'd be terrible.
Yes. I am on the lookout now for a nutcracker for you to send them. Courtesy.
Every year he gets a different one, and he has to recant the story. And it has happened to him a few times where, is there a doctor in the audience or is there a doctor in the house? And
how come they don't ever say, is there a comedian in the house? Because me and Dustin could go, hey.
We got this.
I got a little bit of stage fright, but I can probably lighten the mood a little bit.
For sure. But no, it's one of those that the show does go on, and sometimes you have to do those things not because it's what you're paid to do, but It's because it's out of obligation for your own morality and the spirit and memory of others.
And ain't there some sort of code they take too that whenever somebody's in need
Absolutely.
and they're nearby, they will assist?
Yes.
I think.
And it's
Or I
sad.
totally made that up. I don't know.
No, it is a real thing. I mean, that is a oath that they take
Right.
when they become a doctor, is to do good and to help others.
Yeah, and it's just it's sad that most people are going to leave upset if something happened and they cancel it over that. And it's bad that people get that into themselves that they're more important than other people. But it's an inconvenience that it happens. But if something was to happen, it's like, man, it's going to put a damper on that day no matter what. Might as well go home and hope that you guys can return and enjoy it and have an occasion that's not so
Somber.
where it's not clouded by tragedy.
Speaking of, James, is your occasion not so somber?
Oh, we're going to have some fun with mine.
All right.
I didn't think it was gonna be that down. It's a tragedy, but it's like
No, that's it. Life is real, and I appreciate.
and it's one of
even the
those
sad.
we go from laughing about aliens and then I look around as I'm going over my stuff and just the attitude's totally different. So Jimbo, bring us out of this.
Well, I'm going
Bring
to
it back
try.
up, buddy.
My story tonight sounds more like a movie script than a biography, but this is
Oh, get your peanut. Well, not peanuts.
No, none of those.
Frain
I don't want to die.
Salak.
Popcorn. Get your popcorn.
There we go.
Frain
Coke break.
Salak,
Coke
the
break.
man who cheated death 7 times.
So you have, what? How many times has the Steelers won the Super Bowl? We're gonna just call it 7. I don't like the Steelers. I don't like their stuff. Jimmy Johnson, Dale Earnhardt, Richard Petty, 7 championships. Harry Potter, 7 is the powerful magic number. And yet, this guy survives death 7 times.
Oh, just wait what happens after the 7th time, and you'll be astounded.
So he wasn't lucky.
On the contrary, a Croatian man who somehow dodged his death not once, not twice, but 7 times before fate gave him the ultimate gift. Oh, you laugh now.
I'm ready.
He got turned into a cat.
So ready
So,
for this.
who was Frain Salak? We're going to begin with what we do know, okay? He was born in 1929 in what was then Yugoslavia in the city of Koprivnica, now part of modern-day Croatia. He was a music teacher, after we just talked about The Who.
Oh, look at that connection.
A humble,
Like we planned
a
it.
humble profession far from the battlefield or the danger zone as aliens.
Highway to the danger zone.
I'm sorry, we just lost listeners, but he was not a soldier. He's not an astronaut. He's not even a stuntman.
Is he a reptilian?
A man who simply seemed to attract death and then walk away from it. His story became legend in the early 2000s when media outlets across the globe dubbed him the world's luckiest man, or unluckiest, depending on how you look at it. But his tale isn't just one of near-death experience. It's 7, even more unbelievable than the first. So we're going to start at the top. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Crash number 1.
Oh, no.
The train
Oh,
in
no.
1962. The year was 1962, and Frain was on the train from Sarajevo to Dubrovnik, a scenic trip through the mountains and rivers of the Yugoslavia countryside. Just a beautiful
You can make up the
train
town
ride.
names. People aren't going to know.
Oh, no, I tried. But then things went horribly wrong. According to Salak, a freak accident occurred. The train derailed and plunged off the tracks into an icy river.
Oh,
The
boy.
freezing water swept away several carriages. 17 people died.
Gosh.
Frain was among the survivors, though barely. He suffered a broken arm, hypothermia, and several bruises.
Ouch.
So he was pulled from the wreckage and taken to a hospital. It was a miracle by any definition, but the universe wasn't quite finished with him yet. Crash number 2, the plane in 1962.
Oh, God.
Just 1 year later, in 1963, Frain boarded his first and only commercial flight.
Can't say I blame him.
It would become the stuff of legend. According to Frain, he was flying from Zagreb to Rijeka when mid-flight, the plane lost cabin pressure and a door blew open.
Oh, my gosh.
The aircraft violently shook, and Frain says he was sucked out of the plane.
No!
Yes, sucked out. No parachute, no harness, just him and the open sky.
Oh, my God.
And yet, He landed on a haystack.
So it's like King of the Hill. Didn't like Peggy go skydiving and like hit and bounce?
I don't know. Somehow surviving the fall while 19 others on the flight died in the crash. It's one of the most debatable parts of this story. No official records verify this crash, and skeptics say this might be where Frayn's tales become more legend than reality.
Oh, go
But
figure.
Selleck
The truth
always
comes out.
landed on a
insisted it
hay
happened.
bale.
And whether the haystack broke his fall or not, his story was far from over.
I was calling bullshit on that anyways.
Crash number 3, the bus. In 1966. So 3 years later, in 1966, Frayne boarded a bus, perhaps thinking ground transportation was safer. It wasn't. The bus skidded off the road and crashed into a river. Again, Frayne found himself underwater, fighting for his life. 4 passengers drowned in the crash, but Frayne, he swam to shore with minor cuts and bruises. That's 3 major accidents and 3 miraculous survivals. It's around this time that Frayne began to see himself as cursed or blessed. He told interviewers that he believed God or fate was either watching over him or playing games, but death wasn't done chasing him. Crash number 4, the car explosion in 1970.
He's making this shit up.
In 1970, Frayne was driving his car, finally in control of his own vehicle, when the fuel tank exploded. The blast engulfed the car in flames, but Selleck managed to jump out just in time, moments before the vehicle became an inferno. Again, he only escaped with minor injuries. Coincidence or something stranger? Crash number 5, the car explosion again.
Good
1973.
grief. Okay, stop getting in automobiles.
Did he have
and
mob
vehicles.
ties?
I'm getting like, planes, trains, and automobiles vibes here.
Just 3 years later, in 1973, Frayne was driving yet another car when a malfunction in the fuel pump caused the engine to spray hot oil all over the car's interior. The result? A fire burst through the air vent, singeing off all of Frayne's hair, but somehow leaving him otherwise unscathed. By this point, friends and neighbors were reportedly terrified to ride in any vehicle with him.
Bullshit.
And honestly, who could blame him? Crash number 6, hit by a bus in
I can believe that.
1995.
Wow.
He may be a bad liar, but he probably has bad choices.
Right.
And I can see, this is maybe plausible. The other two I call BS.
Fast forward to 1995. Now in his mid-60s, Frayne was simply walking in Zagreb when he was hit by a city bus. He was knocked down, injured, but once again, not seriously, just another brush with death, one he shrugged off as if it were just routine. Crash number 7. So this is the 7th one.
Jeez.
The cliff fall.
Oh my God.
1996, the year I graduated. 1 year later, 1996, perhaps the most cinematic near-death moment of them all. Frayne was driving through the Croatian mountains when he rounded a bend and found himself facing a speeding truck. With nowhere to go, he swerved off the road and his car crashed through the guardrail and plummeted 300 feet down a gorge. But Frayne wasn't inside it. He had somehow jumped out of the car at the last second and clung to a tree, watching from above as his vehicle exploded in the ravine below. No major injuries. That's 7 disasters, 7 escapes. You'd think by now fate might give this man a break. It did more than that. In 2003, Frayne Selleck bought a lottery ticket.
Oh, no.
His first in decades. And what happened? He won.
He got hit by a bus.
He won the lottery.
It's about time something went in that guy's favor.
Not a small prize either. Frayne won about $1 million US, enough to buy a home, travel, and live comfort for the rest of his days.
I wouldn't go anywhere if I
He
were
bought a
him.
mansion, a boat, and a car, but soon gave it all away. By 2010, he was back to simple life, claiming that money cannot buy happiness. He preferred his modest home, his wife, and his garden.
And almost dying.
He believed fate had done enough for him. He didn't want to push it. So here's the big question. Was Frayne Selleck telling the truth? Some incidents, like the 1962 train crash, are documented. Others, like the plane story, are harder to confirm. Skeptics points to the lack of consistent records and media's tendency to sensationalize. Others say Selleck was embellishing that the stories were metaphors or folklore he adopted as his own. But here's the thing. Frayne never profited off of his fame. He didn't write a book. He didn't go on world tours. He gave away most of his winnings and he lived quietly. If it was all a lie, what was the motive? And maybe, just maybe, it wasn't a lie at all. Maybe it was just one of those stories that slips through cracks of logic and into the realm of the unexplained.
If he maybe had like 2, 3 Ford Pintos, I could believe maybe getting hit and catching on fire, but you're not going to catch on fire in 3 cars.
I don't know. I mean, what happened with Ray Sullivan when he caught fire and he was struck 7 times by lightning and he was attacked by a bear during one of these lightning strikes? I mean, some people just don't have luck.
I have bad luck, but I don't have getting attacked by a bear bad luck.
Frayne Slack passed away in 2016 at the age of 86. Peacefully, quietly, no explosions, no buses, no haystacks. Just a man who defied death 7 times until it was finally ready. In the grand theater of life, some people are just extras. And some, like Frayne Slack, are stuntmen in a script the universe refuses to rewrite.
Unfortunately, that movie never came into production.
Was he lucky or cursed? Was he a hero or a hoax? Whatever the truth, his story reminds us of something important. Their fate, whatever it is, has a wicked sense of humor. Mm-hmm. And sometimes the most unbelievable stories are the ones that are the hardest to forget. So until next time, stay curious, stay cautious, and maybe wear a seatbelt. So, Jackie, do you have this week's missing child?
I sure do. This week's missing child, we have Kathy Durrance, case number M7784000389. She's been missing since April 10th of 2025 out of Gainesville, Florida. Her current age is 15 years old, female, Caucasian, light brown hair, blue eyes. Any information, please call the Gainesville Police Department at 352-955-1818. We will also place all of her information on our social medias. And on to you, Dustin.
All right. So please share. Like, if you go onto our TikTok, find us, like, comment, and share on these missing kid cases. So that way more publicity gets on it. More eyes see it. We're going to trick the algorithms to doing more, because the more people that see this, the better. If we can help in any way, that would be the most beneficial thing we could ever do. So please do that. Follow us on Facebook, TikTok. Not going to probably mess with Instagram. Sorry, guys. It's too much work. If I can get maybe Jimbo to take over social media, we may get an Instagram. But
doubt it.
Comments, questions, suggestions, just say hi. darkdiscoveriespot@gmail.com. Find our link tree and our Facebook bio and Instagram. Buy some T-shirts. Help the cause. I'm going to share something. I was going to wait till after the intro, the outro played. I'm going to leave the names out of this. I just seen this news article. In 2012, a Chicago man named, we'll call him Bob, bought a car for $600, registered it in his ex-girlfriend's name, parked it at O'Hare Airport, accruing 678 parking tickets, totaling $105,761.80. See what happens when you're a bad girlfriend and you become an ex-girlfriend? Probably horn around, who knows. Initially, his ex-girlfriend was held responsible for the full amount. Eventually, the city agreed to reduce the fines by $100,000, leaving her a bill totaling $4,470. Bob had to pay the initial down payment of $1,600, and the ex-girlfriend was ordered to pay the additional $78 a month until it was paid off. Love each other, take care of each other. Don't be bad to each other, okay? Because
You
if
had to
not,
pull a news article up to tell us that.
if not,
Dr. Love over here.
some guy wearing a Superman cape is going to buy a car and put it in a parking lot and make you pay a bill.
Well, this has been Dark Discoveries, where the deeper you dive,
The darker it gets.
Potassium.